Zip tie. Zip a tie. Hi, people of the interwebs. Today's video is going to be on one of these two vehicles behind me. If you're new to my channel, up above my head is a link to the last time I worked on Mr. Dose. That's the one I'm working on in this video. I made up my mind at the last second. I was gonna do something with the Gump, but I will wait because I think I'm gonna order more parts for it. As long as I am healthy and able to do so, I wanna make sure this content stays uninterrupted and focused solely on cars as it has always been for you guys. I know there's a lot of craziness going on right now, but I wanna keep this a lighthearted, carefree environment for you guys to just tune out, pun intended, and de-stress a little bit and focus on cars. Okay, let's get to work on the MR2. This crusty AC button has been bothering me for the past 2.5 years since I bought this car. I'm not stopping until the interior on this car is flawless. I want it to look brand new in here. What is that? One's a cap head Allen screw and the other one's a Phillips? Great idea, Sarah. Use a cap head Allen screw to hold in the center console instead of getting the correct hardware. In case you're wondering right now, I am doing this video in the priority level of how much things have been irritating me on this car. And the AC button is at the top of my pet peeve list. Luckily, I have a little bit of a bench stock of hardware and I should have, maybe. Gentle. Gentle. There we go. Now if you look right here, there's a little tab that you press and then this button should pop right out. It's pretty easy. Said no one ever working on an MR2. It's actually not that bad. You get used to it. Verification. Yep, there's one taberdoodle on the top. Slick boy on the bottom. Come on. There you go. Just like that. It's the subtle things like this that make a big difference to me when you're building a car. Little details like this are the difference between slapping shit together for YouTube or doing quality work. There we go. Fresh AC button. Hell yeah. This should be the correct screw, I believe. It goes in this hole. Nope. It's a really stupid problem to have, but I do not have any hardware that fits these two holes down here. So I'm gonna have to research the correct Toyota part for the screw and order some. For now, it's not going anywhere. Okay. Ow, I got zapped. I got electrocuted. All right, speaking of which, electrocution. This guy right here is something I should have bought a while ago. Come out. Ooh, heavy D in the boys. Da-da-da, a battery, but not just any battery. Open. There. So the battery that is in this car is from O'Reilly Auto Parts. It's just a generic brand battery. And you can see the date on there, it's stamped 9/2018, but I live in Tucson, which is a desert climate and is extremely harsh on batteries. Regardless of what kind of battery you have, it just destroys them here because of how hot it gets. I mean, think when it's 115 in the summertime, it's probably like 160 or 170 underneath the hood of this thing. So I did a bunch of research on batteries online and I have an Odyssey in the Focus and they didn't have the exact battery group that the MR2 requires. So I looked into these Deca batteries and they're actually really well rated and it's a AGM battery, so I decided to give it a shot and see how it does. It's a little crusty, you can clean this guy up. You're probably wondering why I'm changing this battery out if it's still good. And it's actually not still good. It has been leaking acid in the lower tray, and I've had a couple issues with it starting. The thing is a little plastic tray to catch all this crap. You can't corrode plastic. I learned that from Breaking Bad, because you put the acid in the plastic barrels, not in your tub, or else you'll destroy your hallway in your house. Now that's done, I got a concoction of chemicals brewing over here. I actually used some baking soda and vinegar, apple cider vinegar, because that's all I had. I'd say it's pretty good. I'm probably gonna order another one of these, a factory Toyota one, just because they're not that expensive. Intimidator, this thing is intimidating me to pick up. It's 33 pounds. Yep, that's not gonna happen while I'm holding my camera. The MR2's got a weird battery group. It's not just group 35, it's 55D23L, which I don't really know how that differs from 35. Maybe it's just the position of the terminals or the size. This one, however, is a 3585, so it should fit. Oh, perfect. Yeah. There. Much better now that I got all that gunk off of there. That's a battery. Looks like everything works. That's good. English. Por favor. Okay. While I'm in the process of replacing things that are factory components no one really gives a shit about, I also have, from Toyota, an OEM fuel cap assembly. Oh, it was already open. Pop. Pop goes the fuel door. I needed to replace my fuel cap because every time I go to put gas in this thing, it's like, will Sarah lose her eyebrows and hair today? That's the old dingy one. It's not even factory, it's a stant. Whatever a stant is. Stant, I can't stant you anymore. Toyota part, factory, OE, clean. Don't look inside there. I have to detail still. That's not cute. It's not cute at all. Don't worry, I'll clean this all up. All right, now that the simple stuff is taken care of, let me know in the comment section below if you want to see a detailing video on either this, the Forester, also later in the future, because the detail is not perfect on either one of these vehicles. And I have a little bit more paint correction to do on this, and I want to do a real ceramic coating on it. But let me know below. Maybe I'll do one. Now everything else I gotta take care of is under the engine cover. Hello, little buddy. Good morning, Snake. What are you doing? Come on, little fella. Are you mad? That's how I start off my day, playing with a baby rattlesnake, because I'm OG. Anyway, I'm going to get working on the innovative SCG1 install because this is going to be a lengthy process, I have a feeling. So I've been hesitating installing this because there's a couple more issues I need to adjust on the engine, like wiring up the idle air control valve so it idles correctly. You guys know how picky I am with installing stuff too. I want to make sure it's super clean under the engine bay and make sure it looks like it's factory the way I route everything. Engine. I really need to get a hood strut system for this thing so I can stay up because I don't even have a prop rod that works correctly. I'm thinking I might run into an issue with this kit because it's designed for cars that have the engine right on the other side of the firewall where the gauges are located. The gauges are going to be located right about here above the steering column plastic. I did order a new piece. It's the whole top half so the wires will tuck down inside it. But if you look how long these cables are, that means once it's routed through the steering column plastic, the end of the cable, if I'm lucky, is probably going to end right around here, which means I have to run the rest of it down through the center console right here and then out through the rear firewall. I worry too damn much. It fits fine. They're all nicely bundled and wrapped all along underneath the center console, and there is plenty left over to go up here to the top of the steering column. Here's the cable that goes to the O2, boost controller, and the 4-bar map sensor. Just gotta find a nice place to mount these. I'm using my skid plate for the Focus as a creeper. Because it keeps all my hair off the dirty floor. That's important, you know. Nope, that's not where I want you to go. Zip tie. Zip tie. Precipitation. This guy right here is the second bung for the wideband sensor. So I gotta mount it right there and find a safe place to route my wires so they don't get entangled in anything or just end up in a bad place. And I really need to clean down here. This is bothering me. Oh my God, this thing is tight. Are you serious? There's a QR code on my axle. I notice that every time I'm under here. Doug DeMuro would have a field day if he saw that. That's pretty tight right there. I call that good. This right here is a sensor that I fished through that rear firewall heat shield that needs to come off so I can fix those heater core lines. Anyway, that's nicely routed. I don't know why they have these. They should have just made the whole lid lift up at once. Plug it in, plug it in. There we go. That is connected. I got one thing routed. This engine bay kind of bothers me. It's just not clean enough to my standards. I don't know what to do though. Videos like this are extremely difficult for me to film because I don't even know what the hell I'm gonna call this. Installing miscellaneous shit on the MR2. But this is real life, and I've mentioned this in videos before, but I'm mentioning it again because this is the important stuff that people need to see when you're building a car. It's the little things that take hours in a garage doing stuff like this, routing hoses and cables, ensuring stuff is done properly so you can drive the car and not have it break down every single time you take it on a track or go to an event with it. I can't believe how long this took just to do some basic stuff. It's already almost 8:30 at night. But check out what I made, it's awesome. I use this side bracket that's on the Apexi intake to mount my map sensor, and the boost solenoid actually drilled and tapped the holes so the hardware threads into it. And it's nice because it's kind of tucked flush under this side blade panel. And yeah, I don't know. I still gotta hook up the hoses, but it's late, so I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I chose to mount these guys right here because A, the wires didn't really allow me to go that far into the engine bay, but also because it's not very far to route the vacuum lines. So for the turbo, it's just right here and it's fall underneath the intake. And then over here for the map sensor, it doesn't have far to go over to the intake manifold. And there's actually a route for hoses and wires already there from the factory. I know I talk a big game when it comes to doing quality work, and the engine bay of this car still is not up to my standard of quality just yet. That's why I was considering doing the Gen 3 or Gen 4 build on an engine stand and making that engine perfect, and then dropping it in this car and then selling this engine because it runs perfectly fine. But I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below, what are your suggestions on how I can clean up this engine bay? I'm usually not a fan of anything that's either raw or polished metal in the engine bay, especially on a Toyota. The X-brace I don't mind, but like my intercooler piping, maybe if I did that wrinkle finished black, as well as redo this valve cover for the third time, but do it wrinkle finished black as well. And then if I do a full standalone engine management system, I can delete my AFM sensor because it uses a speed density sensor instead, I believe. And it'll look a lot cleaner down there. I could do like a different style intake, maybe an HKS intake to match the HKS SSQV on here. So that way I don't have HKS and Apexi stuff, because that kind of bothers me too. It's like a pet peeve thing. I want it all to match, same brand. I just don't feel the engine bay looks like the amount of effort that went to the rest of the car, especially underneath the engine cover itself. I need to paint under there. There's some overspray and it just looks like crap. I'm gonna wrap up the video right here. It's already 8 o'clock at night, and I'll see what I do in the next video, whether I do some more work on the MR2 or work on the Focus. I got a bunch of parts in the mail I'm still waiting on, and it's gonna be a little slow getting parts here probably. So I'll make sure I come up with some creative content for you guys one way or another. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye.